Hello, everybody. Farrell the Gecko here. This time for a podcast. Well, to be exact, part two of one, as I'm doing all this with a special guest over here. Introduce yourselves. Introduce yourself.
Yourselves.
So,
Hey everybody,
was
my name is Chronos 006. I'm very happy to be here. We've been together on this journey for so long in Danganronpa. I'm glad you guys are hearing me, and I hope you enjoy anything I'm able to provide. Thank you, Farrell.
You're welcome, and thanks for making this possible. Alright, so it's time to talk about
Danganronpa
the big
V3.
V3.
The problem I have with this series. Summarize it if you can. Please summarize it quickly. You can talk about whatever you like, but I'm gonna have a bit of a rant when we get near the end.
I do expect as much. Yeah, after a bit of wait, the announcement came that we're getting V3, and immediately kind of confusing because there's Danganronpa 3 and now V3, the third game. Well,
V.
okay,
V.
V.
Yes.
V3.
Yes. The
And
V3. Like you would pronounce a W, I think.
V.
Yes.
V.
There you go. No, you don't have to. Whatever. Go on.
So, already there were some minor differences with this title because it doesn't take place in Hope's Peak Academy, but rather the Ultimate Academy for Gifted Juveniles. Of course, we try to speculate how it was connected to the other games, but that took a bit of time. But the game did throw a few new curveballs at us. There was a lot of speculation, a few interesting elements, and of course, the class trials once again did receive a lot of new crazy mechanics. And yeah, the cast was kind of crazy altogether, even more than in the last game. Would you agree?
Yes.
And
Continue.
also, of course,
I'm putting you on the spot. I'm sorry.
and of course, there was also the Mono Kids, a really crazy addition where Monokuma has these 5 little mono caps. Oh boy, such cute little fuzzy bears who do all sorts of stuff. It was a crazy game, and I would call it. I would actually, just as I mentioned that the first game was a little bit a little bit dry when you know the other games. This one had a cast that seemed a bit too crazy, so one could say that I felt like Danganronpa 2 had the most middle ground okay cast, but the thing is, Danganronpa V3 has the best character in the whole franchise, Gonta Gukara, the
I
ultimate
knew you were gonna talk
entomologist.
about it. I knew you were going to talk about it. Go. Just go. Just talk about it.
Just immediately, the first time I saw him, and oh my god, this is such a character for me. This Tarzan boy who tries to be a gentleman. Oh,
Jungle life, the Tarzan boy.
it was amazing. I was in love at first sight, and I went as
I
far.
don't blame you. He's pretty handsome.
Right away, I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna do a cosplay of him. Next time I did, I was cosplaying, and boy, did I ever get a lot of attention
You
because
did.
somehow, because a lot of people dress up as Nagito or Junko or a few other characters, but Gonta, no, not so much. But at the same time, everybody loves Gonta, so I really struck out. People were so excited.
You struck
oh my
out?
god!
No, you
Yeah,
didn't
they were-
strike out. You hit a home run.
I mean, they were totally crazy seeing me. Oh my god, a
You
Gonta
silly
cosplayer!
Polish man. You don't know baseball terms.
Well, indeed do not. Yeah, that's a problem. Sorry. Well, yeah, and as I walked through the convention, I became part of the Danganronpa cosplay group actually,
Awesome.
which I'm a
Awesome.
part of. Yeah, and we each year we meet at PerCon and sometimes some smaller convention if it works out,
You're in a group?
which is yeah in a
You meet
group.
every year? That's amazing.
Well, it wasn't that. It wasn't for that long or anything. It's not that that long standing tradition, and you know, Danganronpa isn't the youngest anymore. Some people dress up as other characters, but we kind of try to keep this up together. And I honestly can't imagine cosplaying as anyone else but Gonta.
I have seen his pictures. This man went full out. Like, it looks really great. And I hope I'm not embarrassing you, but is it fair to say that Gonta Gonkuhara, I hope I had that right,
Hmm.
is, I would say, maybe 7'5"? I don't know what that is in
Yes.
meters and centimeters, I'm sorry. This man is basically my height, which is 5'11". Again, I don't know what that is in meters and centimeters, which is fantastic. Like, he is so confident. You guys don't even know. He is so confident. He is so proud of his cosplay. It's fantastic. Continue, sir.
It is an amazing experience. I would still consider myself new to all this, but I'm really happy I dared to partake in this, and very soon this month I will be cosplaying once again.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mm. So I'm grateful for that alone in this game, that it gave me such an amazing character.
Yes. So you can go ahead with any problems you had without too many spoilers, if you could.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I will admit that I had some issues with the game because
Oh,
in
I'm
the other
sorry to
game,
interrupt, but just so you guys know, he kind of hinted at it before. We basically tried, even though I was super slow, we basically tried to play the game simultaneously. And we spoke with each other and made our predictions, even though, again, I was super, super slow, as far as who done it in each case and who was the killer and who was the, survivor or whatever. Continue.
yeah, exactly. We made those predictions, and V3 was kind of a problem because the cases got so complicated and certain pieces of evidence were only revealed during this class trial, meaning that it was practically impossible to solve a case before the class trial.
You could say it. It was bullshit. There were so
Y-
many twists and turns.
yeah, I didn't like it, I did not like that. I talked with other people and some say, "Oh, it's actually fine. I hate it when a riddle can be solved before the last trial." But then again, were these people ever trying to do that? I mean, we like this. We want to accomplish this, so why take it away from us? This chance. Uh, Without going into the spoilers, we both only managed to solve one case, each of us a different one. Yeah, so that's my one major gripe with the game, that they kind of took that away.
Yeah, it was, for more or less the problem I have with Danganronpa V3, as well as it kind of brings a conclusion to the series, as you guys might have seen near the end, I get a little peeved. I get a little nonplussed, as people would say.
Indeed.
I was not happy with the way the series was going, but I will say that pretty much all of the cases were filled with so much misdirection. In fact, one of the cases, I'm not going to say which, you literally could not solve. You literally could not solve. In fact, I would argue 2 of them were such. You may disagree. Do you?
No, not really.
Okay.
I found it frustrating myself.
Yeah, literally I won't say which one, but one of the cases in the game is literally unsolvable because the game lies. And which is interesting, and I should mention this. The 3rd game introduced a new mechanic into the structure of the case back and forth and contradiction and hold that and exception and all that, which is totally fun. I love that. I love the whole hold it and the whole that's not right, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I love it, and the mini games are so fun. As much as it frustrated me in my playthrough, I love that. Don't get me wrong. The whole thing is that I am an ethical person. If I were a junior detective, which the main character of Danganronpa V3 is, fair to say?
Yes.
Yes. If I were in his shoes, I would never lie. I couldn't, no matter what it took. If it was, and I hate to say this is going to sound awkward, but dude, if I knew you were the killer, like, I might pull you aside and be like, dude, this is really awkward. I know you did it. Just run. Just run. But I wouldn't do that. Like, I can't. In that situation, in that kind of ethical, legal court situation, I would not be able to lie. I can't do that. And that's a really cool ethical and moral dilemma. But anyway, we won't talk about that on this podcast. Maybe another one. But
I will admit that it's a strange idea, and I had issues with it. But with time, I understood that it played a part in the theme of the game,
Yes.
what it was about. And, well, it is strange for a detective like Shuichi to step to lying, to do that. But in the end, I kind of went along with it.
yeah, and what's interesting, and you can talk more about this, I had no clue the entire time I did the Danganronpa V3 playthrough. And again, guys, I have to really apologize. I was gonna say the entire reason that the Danganronpa V3 playthrough literally took more than a year to finish. Almost 2 years. And I have a reason. It's an excuse, but it's a reason. Those videos, when I record them at 1440p, are so freaking huge that I can only do a couple of episodes at a time. And it takes hours because at that time I was still using the Yeti Pro. And I had no clue how to balance audio. And in fact, what's hilarious, and I've told you this, is that with my CyberLink Power Director software, ding, which I love and I use all the time, apparently I mistook gain for volume for years. And I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. As soon as I learned that, I was literally in tears. And I was like, why have I done this for years? Anyway, now I have very nice equipment. I love it. It's awesome.
Oh.
My Sennheiser Mic 4, MK4 digital, ding! Not sponsored by Sennheiser, but anyway, it took a long freaking time. It took a long time to edit every single episode, and I could not record more until I edited it, and it was so intimidating. I couldn't do it. It took so much out of me every single time because I threw my heart into it. And I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you, sir, enjoyed my voice acting, because especially in a later part in the game when Shuichi, the protagonist, that's a little bit of a spoiler. I imagine if you guys are listening at this point, you know that. Basically fell into a depressive coma. And at that time, I was as if you guys have seen the Catherine playthrough, at that time I was in a bad place. But I'm in a very much better place now. And anyway, so what I was going to say to conclude, and then I'll let you continue, is that Danganronpa V3 really, really screwed with the viewer. Now, there's a reason for that, but I won't reveal it. The characters were just out of this freaking world. Like, the ultimate housemaid, the ultimate housemaid, the ultimate folk singer, the ultimate, like, cultist, basically. The ultimate artist, she later called herself. If you're still listening at this point, guys, I'm sorry, but there's going to be spoilers. The ultimate, like, cosplayer. The ultimate cosplayer. And I thought that was hilarious that you were able to do that. The ultimate entomologist. And the ultimate liar. Anyway, I've talked enough. Talk more about the fourth case, in which you solved it completely, and you were so sad.
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
Gosh. So, yes, this was the only case that I managed to solve, but at the same time
As soon as I figured it out, as soon as I was recording it, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I had it figured out. I had it written down. I even sent you my answer, and I said,
You did.
That's who I think the killer is, but I'm so praying that I'm wrong, and I wasn't. So I kept hoping that I'd actually, for once, guessed who the killer is, and it was a case where I could not take satisfaction in it. Ugh.
Dude, as soon as I figured out, you were very careful, and I really appreciate that. You did not spoil anything. As soon as I got through that part, and as soon as I was recording, like literally the entire time, I was like, oh, good God, no, you can't, no, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
For those of you who watched the recording, like, I edited, you guys have no idea, and you, sir, have no idea. I edited so much out. I was, like, screaming mad, because I knew how sad, and I felt sad, and I knew how sad you would be.
Truly, the most tragic day in human history.
The most tragic, no good, very bad, horrible, whatever day.
Yeah.
No good, very bad day.
Yeah, I felt like at that point, yeah, the game can throw anything at me, and yeah, it's over. There's nothing.
And in a way, that's kind of clever, because the game really just destroys you and just makes you depressed, for lack of a better term. You know? And I'm used to that. Without getting too much into my own history, viewers, I am, you know, you probably could figure out I've had some history with depression. I'm way past it, and I'm super happy right now. But this game, if you're invested in the characters, this game, the second game too, will absolutely mess with you psychologically. And that's why I love this series so much, because it plays with you. It absolutely just is like, okay, I'm going to take your brain, I'm going to take her brain, and I'm going to hold it here, and then I'm going to pour vinegar all over it. And then I'm going to pour acid all over it. And by the time I put it back in your head, you're going to be like, but go on.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm just so into this.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I actually appreciated the games for making it so hard to predict who will be alive in the end. Oh, this character is fun. They'll surely keep him around. No.
And don't forget my muscle waifu from
Oh,
Danganronpa 2. I can't remember her name, and I feel terrible about it, but she is literally my muscle waifu, and I love her so much.
Akane Ovari, the ultimate gymnast.
Ultimate gymnast, my ass. She's the ultimate thigh master. Boobs Mackenzie, as I called her.
Yeah, which is honestly the name that I remember her by in my head. Is
Ooh, I
this
would
little
let
nigga.
her. I would let her just do so many terrible things to me. Anyway, anyway, please continue. So
Well,
to talk more about the end of the fourth case and how you felt after you learned what happened.
yeah, I felt true despair.
Yep.
I was really sad about what
Yep.
happened.
And see, that's the key. That is the game. The third game really, truly reached out in a very meta format to make the player and the viewer on YouTube really sad, really, truly sad. Continue.
Feel despair.
Basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that still wasn't the end of it. As always, the characters had to wake up the next day and decide to carry on, just live their lives, try their best, and hope to escape the whole their entrapment, and I mean, and also along the way figure out what the mystery of the whole place is. And yeah, V3 also had a mystery, but certainly one that was quite different from those of the past games.
Yes.
Very different.
Yes, very different. So, time for me to toot my own horn a little bit, in that I absolutely, in the fifth case of Danganronpa V3, nailed it from the start. From the start. So basically, as you're playing the game, and for those of you who have played the game, there is just so much misdirection and so much trickery everywhere. Literally, in the fifth case of Danganronpa V3, you cannot see who is actually talking. That's all I'll say. But I am very proud of the fact that, as compared to the final case in Danganronpa 2, I won't say the final case, but the one right before that, you know what I'm talking about, and you fans know what I'm talking about. Again, no spoilers, as best I can manage. I don't know why, which is really funny, because the one of either the killer or the killee, I fingered as the killer in like every case from the beginning. And the thing that's so great about this series is that no matter what you think about certain characters, every single character that you have so many interactions with, you feel for. I know I'm an empathic person. I'm an empathetic person. I naturally can get really into games and movies and TV shows without any trouble. Like, I have no problem suspending my disbelief, as they say. And, like, the games, each of them, constantly shove characters into your face that you love and that you truly get to know and care about. And then, all of a sudden, they will just kill them off or completely change your expectations. Just completely. And anyway, so I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but I nailed that fifth case. As much as it made me angry that I got it, I was very proud that I got it. So now that we're almost near the end of this podcast and we need to cut it short soon, because I know time's getting late for you over there in Europe land.
Don't worry, there's still time.
Okay, good. So I could probably make another podcast all about my feelings about the ending of Danganronpa V3. But y'all can see that on my channel if I ever finally decide to edit it, because again, it takes forever. But anyway, what are your feelings about the final portion of Danganronpa V3, which drove me to be very, very loud and very outspoken when we got, in my words, we broke the 15th wall.
Oh, yeah. Boy. Yeah, that was a shocker. Something that I really did not expect. And if I'm not to reveal anything, so it was something completely unexpected that flips the whole game on its head and leaves you questioning what the point of it all was. Really shocking stuff, and it opened up a lot of philosophical questions about one's existence, and of course a lot of the whole scenario presented here was really out of this world, impossible to imagine. At least put yourself in this situation. This would never happen in real life, but from a philosophical, theoretical point of view, I found it so intriguing, such a sick situation to be placed in, and of course the question, what do you do then? Uh, I found it interesting, and of course, just as the mechanic of lying was introduced in the game, as I said before, it kind of played with the theme of the game, and there was also the question. So, with such a scenario, uh, what is the truth? What is the lie? And is truth really always so good, or are some lies sometimes actually the better thing to cling on to? I found that actually very intriguing and deep. So as much as I was shocked, I did not really take issue with it, and I even felt like the game was sort of a response to the fandom around the game, because as I said, I became part of a cosplay group, and I've seen these people act out the roles and be all really fanboy, screaming hope, despair, such madly. And as much as it was kind of fun, I did question how this all works, given what the true message of the games is supposed to be and how people glorify these things. So overall, the big reveal about the game, about everything, it made sense to me. It felt like the authors of the game kind of want to end the franchise, and this is the perfect way to speak out about it. I mean, the fans would want more and more and more games, and with this of an ending, you can easily close the book on it, even if naturally some people will be upset. They'll feel insulted by the ending, but
Yeah, I was
I
one of those.
mm, well, yeah, I heard that. Of course I
A
did.
hidden protagonist shows up at the last moment. Another character that I kind of thought was the killer for a long time. Let's just say that. But it's, looking back on it, I can absolutely appreciate it for what it is and what it was. And it's very interesting because I record extremely late at night to get myself into the mood, Not extremely late. I mean, it's like 9 o'clock my time, 2100 your time in Euros time. But it's like, I get myself so into the character and the game that I can't quite understand. I can't quite get myself out of the game to a certain extent, if you know what I mean. But
Oh yeah.
and I'm not going to go into detail, but for those of you who have watched my final episodes, and the final episode is coming soon, I promise, of Danganronpa V3, I just felt betrayed. I hate to be like the dearly departed. He's not dead, but he's gone for a while. Spoony, and be like, betrayal! But I will say that I absolutely knew that a certain case, that I won't say which one, was complete bullshit, complete nonsense, and I finally was validated later on. So I was so happy. I was like, I knew that case was nonsense. I was so happy. But anyway, like later on, yeah, the game just goes just batshit crazy at the end, and it breaks so many walls and tries to go super freaking meta, and I played with that. If you guys have seen the episodes, I really played with that, where I did a little back and forth with me and the character. And I really just embraced it. I had a lot of fun, but at the same time, to draw a conclusion, now I appreciate kind of what it was doing. But as I was saying in the recording, they can't do any more. They killed the franchise. If they continue, it's not going to work. They're going to have to just completely introduce a new like dynamic, because it's done. Like the way, spoiler alert, it's done. It's over. You know?
Yes, indeed. The end of all killing games. It's all over.
And it got a little bit political, and I made a few jokes here and there, but, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
A little bit.
I will say, to kind of draw this to a close, I'll let you share some final thoughts. Go for it.
Well,
it's a great series.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun playing it. I was just going to say, for those watching, it's incredible. Like, if you're into the whole detective drama thing, like, you will love this series. Please play this series. If you like anime, if you like detective work, you'll love it. It's got an amazing sense of humor. Yes, you can't play this game without the sense of humor. The music is incredible. I've used the soundtrack so many times in my recordings. You probably heard them, but you never even noticed it. But man, this is a fantastic series, and I truly hope that it stays where it is. Because if they try and revive it, it's going to be awkward. But another thing I will mention is that I'm really looking forward to Spike Chunsoft's Zanki Zero. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I heard something.
It's kind of like a Minecraftian kind of thing, except where the characters are clones, and they only live for like 3 or 4 days, and they age super fast. So they start as kids. They age super fast. Check it out. I think it's on PS4 and PC and like maybe Monday or Tuesday.
Oh yeah, the release date, April 9th.
Spike Chunsoft is incredible. I played a brief game that was released a long time ago called Shinjuku 420 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it was. I got bored, and I want to explain something. We'll edit this out. I gotta explain something. Whenever I don't continue a series, it's usually because I lost footage or I lost audio or something, and I can't stand doing it again. But anyway, for you guys who are looking for a fantastic experience, please check this out. It's such a great game. You will, like, if you get all 3 of those games, you will not be disappointed, and you will 100% love every moment of it. Now, I will warn you, do not use a controller like I did, because you will be stuck. You will be just, that stupid controller will never move as fast as you want it to. You'll be better off playing it on, I think it's on PSP, I think it's on I don't know. It's on mobile formats are much better. But if you love this genre of the visual novel as much as I do, ever since I played the 999 series, you will absolutely love this game. I really don't want to go into any more spoilers, but my dear friend, I am so happy that you've joined me on this podcast. I don't have much more to say. I love this series. I am honored and proud to have introduced it to you. And how about you close this out?
Well, I want to just say that the series is pretty great. If you're starting out, then yeah, you could technically just watch the anime, which is an adaptation of the first game, but that's pretty flawed. So if you're really split, just play the game, experience it, and it might be something completely new for you, or maybe you're a fan of these games. Either way, it's a really fun experience. I'm really glad I got to play them and really get to know a lot of new people and experience completely new things, which is always great. And to cap this all off with the most important message, Gonta is best girl, and if you disagree, then you have trash taste.
Boobs McKenzie is best girl. I would love for her thighs to freaking destroy me. Don't argue with that. I don't know.
Gonta's thighs could destroy me too.
Oh my goodness. Thank you everyone so much for watching. My channel is about to get banned. So, goodbye for now.
Goodbye, everybody. Woo!
See you next time on Chronos 006 or Feral Forever, Feral the Gecko. Anyway, good night, everybody. Woo!
Good night.